How you doing, guys? Welcome to the video. Today, I'm going to be talking to a young girl named Michelle. And some of you might already be aware of Michelle's story, but for those of you who aren't, Michelle had a jab about 3 months ago and had a pretty serious reaction. She couldn't walk and was left in a wheelchair. I was lucky enough to work with Michelle pretty shortly after she had the reaction. And we worked together for a couple of months, and I'm going to get her to tell you about that experience, and also get her to tell you a lot about her experience and everything she's been through so far. She made a very, I don't want to call it miraculous, just a speedy recovery. There's no miracle to what happened, but it's certainly a faster recovery than what I normally see generally. So obviously this is a hot topic at the moment. I really feel like this message is an important one, and if you guys feel like there's anyone you know that would benefit from this, please share it. Just share the video with anyone who you know has already had a reaction or who's planning to get the vaccine, or just anyone that you think might benefit from this. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to introduce Michelle into the room, and hope you enjoy. Michelle, how you doing?
Hi, Sinclair. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And I know you're really passionate about sharing your story as well as I am, obviously. So and definitely, this is a story that people need to hear.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I guess I'll just kick it off by asking you, like, where this began. Where your journey of kind of healing began.
So yeah, basically, like 8 months ago, I had a reaction to a vaccine, the COVID vaccine, and that left me like really struggling to walk. And there wasn't any like proper treatments available. It was just like physical therapy and that kind of stuff. And they said it would take a while. And yeah, physical therapy was the only treatment option, and there was literally like nothing else. So that was kind of like, okay, I'll do it like that. And then you reached out to me saying that you wanted to help like with this detox and like just becoming healthier and like really just help with recovery. And so that was really exciting, and I was so excited when I saw your message.
Yeah.
And so I think it was 2 months ago that I was like, okay, I'll do the program. So I originally did, it was just fruits and vegetables at the start. And then
can I go back just a tiny bit?
Oh yeah.
Can I dive in a little bit and ask you what happened after you got the jab?
Oh yeah, okay. So basically I got the vaccine, and then like the day after I was having all these like troubles. So I was shaking, my whole body was shaking, and like I had no balance. I wasn't able to walk properly. I couldn't coordinate my movements. Over time it got a little bit better, but it was still kind of just like up and down. And I was in hospital for 2 months, and I was just like continuing with like really intense like physical therapy. Yeah.
Did you have any history of illness? Was this any of these things that you'd experienced before?
No, I'd never experienced anything like this before. And before getting my vaccine, I also like spoke to my GP about like my allergies. I'm like allergic to nuts, so I told her about that. I also have asthma. I just like mentioned that to her if it would have like any effect, and she said no. So like no other type of illnesses that would have done something like this.
Yeah. And okay, so you had the jab. You immediately, it was the day after you started having that reaction, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how long was it between the reaction and when we spoke?
So I had the reaction. So I got my vaccine April 2nd, right? Because I got it early because I was working at a dental clinic. So at that time it was like available to healthcare workers. So that's why I got it. But yes, when I got it, there was a lot of like, I guess no one wanted to accept that it was what happened to me was related to the vaccine. They kind of like, all the doctors kind of like originally put it to like mental health issues and that kind of thing. And that was obviously really disheartening, you know, when you go to seek medical advice from like doctors. But I don't know, they just kind of put it to mental health when like I spoke to psychiatrists, I spoke to psychologists, and over like periods of weeks, we were like having discussions, and like even they couldn't find anything that pointed to like any medical illness or anything like, I'm sorry, mental health illness.
Yeah.
So that was like a bit disheartening. And then I think I put my story a bit public. And then I think it was August that, so from April to August. So August is when that video came out and you texted me.
Yeah, so we spoke and then we started working together. But you'd already been doing PT work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you tell everyone, what was the PT you were doing?
So I was doing a bunch of like physical therapy as well at rehab. It was just like retraining the brain kind of thing. So like just a lot of repetition. So I was doing physio, OT, and exercise physiology as well. Yep. So it's just like getting the body stronger through exercise and like doing a lot of like repeated physical therapy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like just exercise and just like repeating all these actions, like walking around, doing steps, doing ramps, that kind of thing. Yeah. Getting the brain more used to it.
For sure, yeah. So you'd been doing that for how long before we spoke, do you think?
Since April. So
okay.
I was doing April, May, June, July, August, like 5-ish months.
Was that helping?
Yeah, I think it was tiring. Like it was really tiring. And like at the start it was super slow, like improvements, like as I said, it was like really slow and it was going up and down. Like all my progress was like really up and down. It was good one day and then bad the next. But overall it did help.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we'll fast forward a little bit to you and I connecting, and I'll let you tell the story. We kind of started off, and one of the first things I told you to do was change your diet, obviously.
Yeah.
And can you tell people, would you like to tell everyone what we did to start?
Yeah. So like, first thing was to just go on, eliminate like everything else and just go like fully natural. So just fruits and vegetables. That was like huge for me because like, you know, I was like, previously my diet was like literally everything else, you know, like it was like a bit of like literally everything. And it was super like, wow, okay, for 8 weeks, just going on fruits and vegetables. So that was like, it was a big change, but like I was really, and like Sinclair helped motivate me as well, but we were really like, oh, we need to like, you know, get better and help with my recovery. So that's what I did first. I eliminated everything else and just went on fruits, vegetables, and like water and lemon water. So that was the first thing we did. And I went that, I don't remember how long, maybe like 3 weeks of that. And then I went to just fruits, 2 or 3 weeks of like fruits and vegetables. Then I went on just fruits for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was good. That was refreshing. I personally liked that. I loved the fruit diet. I really loved the fruit diet. Yeah. And in between, like I had periods of like just juice fasting or like just dry fasting. It was like, you know, sprinkled in here and there. I just had like either like one juice or like any juice throughout the day for a couple of days, or like just fasting with like sips of lemon water during the day. And then like I just go back on fruits. So yeah, that was like basically my diet for 8 weeks.
Yeah. So we did, the emphasis was on fruits, and the way I explained it to you was we need to bring living chemistry, energetic chemistry into the body to recharge and energize your nervous system. But also the focus was really on elimination. So just to clarify, obviously you know this, but for everyone else, it's like the one of the big goals was to get your body to start eliminating all of the toxins and things that had come into it from the jab that were creating the neurological weakness. And the foods that you were eating prior to that weren't able to do that because they were cooked, they were dehydrated, they didn't have that energetic chemistry that we really need. So that was where we kind of built that foundation, and then bringing in the shorter levels of fasting as well really speed that up. Um, but can you, yeah, maybe tell us a little bit more about like at what stage did you really start to notice yourself getting better?
Well, personally, even like at the start, like even just a couple of weeks in, I was already feeling like so much better. Like I remember I was keeping a log of like everything I was eating, and I like looked back, and like even just like a few weeks in, I was already just feeling cleaner, like um digestion was so much better, like, and like I was just feeling so good. And then like the deeper I got into it, like other things started to improve as well, like skin and like just like, you know, my overall body was good. So I just feel like throughout the entire journey, like there was always things that were getting better. Do you know what I mean?
You mentioned to me when you were doing your rehab that your recovery was a lot quicker as well, or your blood rate,
Yeah.
your heart rate would come down a lot
Yes,
quicker. Yeah.
yes. Because I was doing exercise physio, and like I they're like all these machines, basically. They're like all these machines, and you just do like exercise after exercise. And like I wear the Apple Watch, and so like doing those exercises, I would see that like my heart rate would go so high, like 180. I don't even know, like, you know, just like that really high. But then like a few weeks into the diet, I started to notice that, yeah, like when I was doing the exact same exercises and like even tougher exercises, my heart rate would not go that high. It just was, you know, it was a lot lower than usual.
Yeah. And then it was towards the end of the 8 weeks that you actually, and I think it was from recommendation from the practitioners you're working with, they actually dropped you down to one session a week. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing like really intense therapy like every single day. And then like it like started going down a bit. But then like, yeah, a couple of weeks in, they were just like, you've improved so much. Like you don't even need to be coming every day. Or you don't have to come like this often. You can just come once a week.
Yeah. Awesome. So, okay, so now I guess we just finished what was 2 weeks ago, right? So we're sort of at the end of that 8 weeks, and
Yeah.
how's the body feeling now? And kind of what do you sort of see as your future? You know, where do you see yourself kind of moving forward with all of this?
My body's feeling so good, like especially recovery wise. Like I don't even rely on a wheelchair anymore, which has been so good. And like my body itself, I just feel a lot cleaner. It's not even like just physically, like mentally as well. I just feel a lot like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like I just feel like clearer in my head, and like I just feel overall healthy, and just like, I don't know, I feel like eating the fruits and like that kind of thing just makes me feel so refreshed, and so I just feel good.
Mm.
And so I guess, yeah, coming off the diet, um I'm still mostly on fruits anyway. I was like just telling you, I'm slowly bringing back in the vegetables, and I plan to keep it going. Or like even if I do introduce other foods back in, I do want to still incorporate this diet in for the future, because of how good it feels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 for sure. And as well, like I've spoken to you about this as well, and it's like for anybody to have a reaction to a jab, there has to be an underlying level of weakness. And then the jab is what the toxicity from that jab is what pushes us over our sort of threshold. And everybody has a threshold. When we get pushed over it, that's when we start to become symptomatic. So what I've been talking to you about is, you know, using the things that we've done together to continue the healing process to actually heal all those underlying weaknesses. And yeah, and you can continue to do that on fruit. You can continue to do it with the different levels of fasting that we've been doing together. And, you know, now you can do it with a bit more balance. You can still enjoy, you know, a cooked meal here and there. And you said today that you started to get back into cooked foods, and you enjoyed
Yeah.
them. So yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just about taking these really simple tools, as simple as just eating fruit. And that's why I wanted to share this with people, because So many people have this idea that fruit is bad for them. And it's literally the one food, when we're talking about what we can eat to heal, it is at the top of the list. Like it really is. It's so healing and detoxifying and cleansing for our body. So what worked in this instance for you will continue to work. So just, that's the big takeaway. And, where you take your health and the level of energy and vitality that you want. And it's just up to you, it's just finding that balance now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is. It's so exciting.
Yeah. So I guess is there any, as a bit of like a closing message, is there anything that you want to share with people listening, anyone that's had a reaction or looking for, guidance or inspiration?
I think like whatever, I don't even know, even if you're like pretty content with like your health or like wherever you are with health, there's like, I remember you telling me at the start, there's like no harm in going on this kind of diet. Like there's literally no harm. And I remember telling my rehab physio as well about that. Before I went on this diet, I mentioned it to him like, oh, I'm going to be, doing this diet. And like he said as well, he was like, those like these kind of diets, like it's only just going to make you better. It'll never harm you. And like, it'll just improve your health. It'll never like, I don't know, put you down, or it'll never, like make you bad or anything. Yeah. So I think, it's definitely something to consider wherever you are with your health. Yeah,
no, well said. Like it's really just getting back to nature. That's what I always call it. Just getting back to what we're supposed to be eating, at least predominantly what we're supposed to be eating. And that's why it's no miracle that these things work. That's what they're designed to do. Like they're designed to clean and strengthen our bodies, regardless of whether it's from a jab or whether it's something that, a disease or, cancer, whatever it is, these foods will clean the body. And I will say this though, like, and I told you this, the way you responded and your success that you had, I very, very rarely see people heal that quickly. But I think it's because you were able to take action as quickly as you did. It wasn't something that you like waited on for years and years. Most people don't end up taking action in most cases for a long, long time, and these things just get more and more chronic and harder to fix. Not impossible, just harder.
Yeah.
So, I just want to say thank you. Like, you're an absolute legend, and this story, I'm sure, is going to help a lot of people find some solutions and find some answers they're looking for. And I don't know if you might get a few DMs. You probably have got hundreds already. I was surprised you even answered mine, to be honest.
Sorry?
I said I was surprised that you answered mine. I thought this girl's probably gotten so many messages. Like, I'll be surprised if she answers mine.
Oh, I'm so glad you texted me. I told my parents as well when you texted me. They were like so happy. They were so excited. I'm so happy that you texted me that day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool how it all worked out.
It is.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, I think we've captured everything we need to. And just again, thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you, Sinclair.
I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.